When I get left the poker game, I walked directly across the street to my home. As I was going on the pool thing, I seen a guy walk up the street. You know, I said, "Hey, Doc, we going? You heading up by the store?" He said, "No, I'm going to go to the bus stop." I said, "Bus stop? You got a couple of hours for the bus come." I said, "You want to come over here?" He said, "No, I'm heading on." I said, "Where you headed?" He said, "Over at County Road." I said, "Doc, you better start running because I left it in the pour down rain." So the guy walked on up the street. I walked on in my house. Well, the next morning, when I woke up, my mother asked me to go to the store for her. Okay, I go in, take me a bath, things, get up, put on clothes, and I walk to the store for the mother. Well, on my way back from the store and stuff, I came to the apartment. When I walked past the car, that looked like a police car. And I looked at the window, I said, "What are they doing around here? They finna knock something out, you know, like that." But I didn't see the officer, you know. So I walked on past. So when I got to the corner of the apartment, the car that I had walked past came behind me. So he stopped beside me and said, "Hey, your name Clarence?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You live in the house right now?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Did you see anybody go up that street last night?" I said, "Yeah, I seen dude go up that street last night when I was over the bench up playing cards." I said, "What's up?" Yeah, like that. You know, he said, "Well, I'm looking for a guy that's supposed to be robbed and laid up on Fifth Avenue." I said, "Fifth Avenue?" I said, "Does she live?" I said, "She live around here?" He said, "I think the victim live on 3rd and 3rd." And I said, "Well, I know everybody over in the area." I said, "What's the victim's name is?" He said, "A doctor." And I said, "Well, I just must be to my Ken and Harold, them sisters. I don't know the doctors on the 3rd. He said, "I don't know the victim related." So he said, "Well, anyway," he said, "Well, will you tell me if you see the guy again, you'll let me know?" I said, "No, if I see the guy again, I'll let Ken and Harold know." I said, "Man, tell you the truth, man, I don't want to have anything to do with police. I don't live with y'all like that." He said, "So you want to tell me?" I said, "No, man, I want to tell you, man, just like that." He said, "But I'll tell them because they're my friends like that." He said, "All right, I'll be seeing for you, the police, do what you want to do." He left. Well, the next day he came back to my house, took me down to the police station, and wanted to question me about some robbery. So I said, "Hey, man," I said, "Man, I don't know anything about all the robbery." So let me see your hand. He grabbed my hand, got a pen and stick in my hand and thing. I said, "Hey, man, that hurt me." I said, "What you found yourself doing?" Yeah, like that. He said, "You supposed to have a cut on my hand." I said, "What you mean I'm supposed to have a cut? If I had a cut on me, it'll be a cut on me," just like that. He said, "Well, get up there and take a picture." I said, "Hey, man," I said, "What you doing? You charge me or you finna arrest me or something? If not, man, you need to go and take me on back home, you know." So he took my picture and stuff, he took me back home. Well, the next day, come back, he said he had a warrant for my arrest. So my sister said, "Can I see that warrant? What the arrest for?" He said, "For armed robbery." So the sister got things said, "Well, this thing got rape and kidnapping on." Then my niece, who was behind me, said, "Rape and kidnapping? Who you supposed to be on rape?" Just like that. Then my sister said, "It got Joyce on name on." So Tracy said, "Let me call Joyce and ask her." So she called the victim thing. And the victim said that she said there was somebody that looked like her. Well, I told the police had the phone from the niece, and I told her, "Don't do that, man." I said, "You don't pay no bill." He took me on down to the police station. All right, when I get to the police station next day, you go through what they call the arrangement. When you go through the arrangement, they asked me, did I have an attorney? I told them I had an attorney who was supposed to be here, who was handling a civil suit for me that I had given money to represent me on this case. Well, the attorney didn't turn up. Well, the lawyer was walking past the courtroom, so the judge called to him and said, "Hey, come here." He said, "I want to sign this case to him." He said, "Well, you got to." The lawyer said, "Well, my case load full, you have to have him sign to upstairs." So the judge said, "No, I'm going to sign you this case now. I want you to represent him." So they went back and forth, but anyway, the man come over, he's going to represent him. They think, "No, I'm bound over." 3 months later, well, before then, when I go back before that ministry, I requested him to do some blood type and stuff. I told him, I said, "When y'all got me locked up for a rape, I said, you got rape, don't y'all go take some kind of blood test or whatever y'all do in them type of cases, to show that the person didn't do it?" I said, "Well, I want to have that done." So the judge said, "Well, I'm going to grant you blood test, blood type test." Well, when I went to court, I'm standing up there, they presenting all the evidence. I'm trying to say, who was the witnesses? I really can't tell you what witness really even had anything in me other than some lady see I supposed to came to her house that morning and drunk, asked for some coffee or something, in the victim. Other than those two, I don't really even see what kind of testimony they had in there, but anyway, they find me guilty. I'm standing out looking at them, I said, ain't no, well, how they put me there to crime, I don't see no evidence placing me there. All I see is this woman saying that I supposed to did it, police saying the victim possibly identified me, something like that. But I'm wondering, how y'all put me there, other than what she said, and they told me I supposed to don't commit that crime. Well, Joe give me all the time, I'm looking at him crazy like I'm looking at the jury. Life. 20 years running consecutive from that damn man, ain't got but one life. So now you gonna do all that time. Well, they gave it to me, and I had to do it. They sent me on down the road. When I went back to jail, they sent me back down the road to the prison. When I got into the prison, some interns from Central Ministry wrote me a letter and said that they had been at my trial. And that they wanted to use my case and said they thought that I had a classic case of wrongful conviction. So I wrote and I told them they could use the case, whatever it is, to help them out, for a class assignment or whatever. I told them it would be okay for them to use it. Well, they write me back and told me they had heard about a new testing they were doing called DNA that they was doing over in England or London, somewhere over there. Told me to write my lawyer and request to have DNA testing done in the case. Well, I requested, wrote the lawyer, my appellate lawyer, because my trial lawyer had died one time I was incarcerated. So I wrote my appellate lawyer who requested to have DNA testing done in the case. And the testing was, they come back and wrote back and said that the test was unsuited for DNA testing because of the dye that was used to preserve it. So I wrote back, unsuited. I said, but these folks don't convict me that. I said, man. I wrote these interns back and told them what they said. So the intern told me, well, write back and ask them to do the testing on the actual closing that was committed and whatever, and ask your attorney to request that these tests be done and preserved for future use. Sure enough, I wrote and requested that again. This time when I wrote back, they wrote back and said all the evidence in my case been removed and destroyed. There was no evidence in existence. I said, man. And this is the only thing that I had set my mind to that I wanted to get out. Because when they told me about the DNA, and me being a gambler, that it was 1 out of 3 million possibility of it being wrong, I liked it them more. I wanted to be that one. So I liked it them more. And that's what, for the whole period, during the whole time I was incarcerated, my whole mind was set on that is how I wanted to get out. I never really wanted to try to get out with no parole or no counsel were ineffective or no court area where they, didn't produce property. I didn't want that. I wanted something that when I can get out there, I didn't have to worry about people saying that he did that, the court did erring or something like that. I wanted to prove that I didn't commit that crime. Where the court had supposed to prove that I committed, I wanted to prove that I didn't commit it. Well, I think at that time when they told me that, I had got kind of like gave up. I couldn't see how I would get out because I know I didn't want it. I've been denied parole. They try to put you in one of these 6 classes. I refused in order to make parole. I'm like, what am I going to do for? Why would I even want to go outside, behind these gates with a sex offense on me? I would, so I refused that, And I accepted the fact that that's why I want to spend the rest of my life behind bars. I was going to live and die in prison. So when I accepted that fact, I became constitutionalized, and they no longer called me Clarence anymore. They started calling me Chain Gang. And I lived by the name of Chain Gang for 10 years because I had a chain gang mentality. And I became very violent, had a foul mouth. I became very corrupt. I became a prisoner, a convict, or whatever you want to call it. Well, while during those times, I had couldn't see it. My daughters and stuff had grown up. They was getting big because they were 7 years, 6, 7, and 9 when I went to prison. I kind of like cut the side off. I couldn't live in prison and on the outside. So I called the outside world the so-called free world, and I lived in the world inside the gate. That was my world. So, you know, I had no part of anybody in contact. I didn't let people write me. I didn't want no one coming to visit me. I didn't call anyone in the so-called free world. I maintained and deal with other people in prison. Well, while one day after I had been in there about 12, 13 years, I was playing poker. I had, you know, and I was gambling. I was very corrupt, and I was gambling. One of my friends got up and said he needed to go to the farm. I said, well, why you go to the farm? Go and put some of these chips up. You know, like you better take your chips with you. Well, as I was going up to the steps to my room, the guy told me, say, man, Chang, I'm going to holler at my mother, man, she's trying to join me. I said, well, I'm holler at that shout at me, just like that. So he handed me the phone. I said, what's up, shout? What you doing trying to join with my little buddy, huh? But when the voice on the other end, I said, hold up. And I said, hey, don't do that no more. I said, man, I don't play with 4 kids like that. Don't you ever do that again, you know? So I walked with the phone, walked on those steps. So when I was coming out of the room, man, come up and say, man, my mother told me to call back, man. That was my mother. Man, I don't play that, man. I just told you that, man. He said, that was mother. I tell you what, put your old lady on the phone and put your mother back on the phone. Well, her voice and her daughter, both of them sound so much alike. And me not having any contact with anybody outside, thing, I thought it was, you know, a little girl or some child or something. It was actually a real woman. She told me she appreciated me having that much respect. So I said, well, I got daughters of my own, you know. I wouldn't want nobody at my age messing with them like that, you know. So he said, well, I tell you what, she said, we kept on talking to John back and forth, and I said, well, I didn't get out of the phone. She said, well, give me your email number so I can write that. I'm just going to write no phone. I want to write to you. I said, you out there on my hand, you don't need to be writing me. She said, well, I'm going to come and see you. See who? You know, you can't come see me. I don't have this. Well, I know you need some money. Y'all always want some money. No, I don't need that. Everything I need is in here with me. I said, bye, y'all. Just like that. On the phone. So every time he had to get a letter, he'll bring me a letter in here from his mother-in-law. She had to know what I read it. Then I told him to go ahead and give him a yelp number. So she started writing. Well, after a while, we built a friendship up, through letters. But one day while I was in the hole, I got a visit. And you don't get visits in the hole. So I go out in the visiting room, and I walk down there, and I sit down with this little lady. So she said, how you know I can't see you? I said, well, you don't want to sit down here in blood. You had to be something. You had to come see me, just like that. She said, man, you crazy. I said, no, I ain't crazy. You want to blood. But that visit, and to see her, maybe she was glad because I hadn't had any contact with anybody outside. But I enjoyed the visit, and I started letting her come and see me. And she started coming to see me and write me things. Then one day she said, what you in there for? I said, you've been writing me all the time, come visit me, send me my name, you want to ask me what I'm in there for. She said, I tell you what, I send you my transcript, you tell me yourself. So I sent them the transcript. About a Monday, she said, but I don't see what you supposed to do. I want to know what you in there for. I said, that's me, ain't my name on it? She said, yeah. I said, that's me. You see how much time they gave me? I said, yeah. I said, well, then, I said, that's what I'm doing. She said, well, what you did? What they said, she said, that's what I'm trying to say. What did you do? I said, all right, then. She said, I'm going to get you a lawyer. So I started laughing. I said, you going to get me a lawyer? She said, I'm going to get a job. I said, get a job. She said, yeah, I said, look at him. You can't even pay your own bill till I give me a lawyer. Then you're talking about getting a job, and you're already working 2 jobs. I said, what you think, you're a superwoman? No, I'm getting a job. And true enough, she did get a job. And she got her 3rd job washing dishes. And she got me a lawyer. And she said, what you want the lawyer? What you want me to tell the lawyer you want to do? I said, I want you to tell the lawyer I want him to go and look for the DNA evidence and find out who was that gave the court order for the evidence to be destroyed, just like that. And that's what we hired the lawyer for. And the lawyer investigated stuff told me, well, there's no record of the evidence being destroyed. So we know that the evidence exists, we just need to locate it. I said, well, that's what I want you to do. I want you to find that evidence, the DNA evidence. That's why I want to go back to it, so I can try to prove me honest. Well, I think this lawyer was, look, I had him for about a year, 2 years. He kept writing back and forth, trying to see whether or not he had found it. One day she came to visit me, and she said, she had me a piece of paper. She said, here you go. I said, what that is? She said, this is a new organization they just started in Atlanta called the George Elms Project. I said, oh, they're one of the old Elms Project up there in New York. I said, I wrote them about 3 years ago. I ain't heard from them yet. I said, how many years it take me to hear from these people? So she said, nah, they just started this program. I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to write them. I said, because, you know, New York project, they probably got so many cases because they're worldwide, you know. And the George Elms Project, you know, they just, in one county, I'm going to write them. I said, because they knew. I said, and they probably home, because those interns in home, they'll be more thorough than the ones in New York. Well, I write the George Elms Project. And it probably took about 2 weeks, they wrote back. Then they started asking me information, I sent information back. It might have been pretty close to 3 to 6 months where they said that they would take my case, you know. So I was happy about that. Well, somebody finally believed me, you know, just like that. Well, after they had said they'll take my case, it might have been about 3 or 4 months later, they said they had found that evidence. When they said that, man, that was, you talking about the joy of my life, I couldn't do nothing but see my freedom coming to me, you know, just everything passed, and I could finally prove, you know. But then, when I started thinking about my freedom, and then I started thinking about, oh, shit, what if they lose or somebody get up, they switch their up, and then you get paranoid that, you know, they might take and put somebody else there, they might hide or somebody have my, you know, and I told her, I said, y'all make sure y'all put that where don't nothing happen to her, you know. Well, Amy them come back, she told us that, well, we're going to send the lab up to California, let them do the test. I said, okay. They sent up there to California. I think about 3 weeks later, Amy them come. When she came in, I seen her, she had a couple of interns with her that had been working on the case and found the evidence, and somebody with a camera. I said, what's going on? She said, well, you know, we got the resort. She said, you know what it is? I said, yeah. It can't be but one resort. She said, no, you want me to tell you? I already know what it is. She said, do you want me to tell you? I said, I know the resort, whatever it is, you know, just like that. So she said, it said 100% that you could not have been the person who committed that crime. So I just do what I said. Did you hear what I said? I said, that ain't for me. I said, that's terrible for you. You know, I already know that I ain't committed a crime, you know, like that. And, man, it just blew up there because she thought I was supposed to. I was excited. I ain't gonna deny that. I was very excited to hear it and finally confirmed that I was actually him. But she wanted me to be excited for something that I've been doing for the past 18 years. So now we're going to take you out. They take me out these things, clubs and those things. Don't worry about that. Whatever you want to do, just get it. Just get it. Just eat as much as you want. Don't be bashful and then just eat. You know? I'm going through that eating stuff. They just gonna tell me to what do you call them all the time? A golden corral. I didn't know. I said, man, I don't want you to spend all your money. Like, don't worry about it. I got you. Yeah, I laugh. And I'm trying not to order stuff because I don't want, you know, to do that. But man, I tell you, but once I got out, it wasn't, you know, it's easy because I wasn't comfortable. You know, you just don't come out like that. I went to the store when my wife took me to the store. I never went anywhere by myself when I got out for the first couple of years. She took me to the store, took me, I walked in the store and I would get something. And when the man told me, I said, what else you got there for? But I thought it was cheap because stuff was so high. piece of candy and a little bread, so I said, I didn't even, when I went to the store, I went buying them rooms on women because I know they ain't changing. I ain't got to go to the store and grocery shop. Well, why ain't do all that? But every time I go to the store, I'm always buying junk stuff. And I remember 15 cents, 25 cent cans and stuff now, $1 and something. I said, and I thought they was taking my money. So I told them, you know, I stopped going and buying stuff myself and I let my wife buy it because I used to get upset about it all the time. And because I thought it was cheating. And, you know, cheating would be taken from me. I wasn't too pleased with it. Why is that? Well, after that, I kind of like started back. I didn't get comfortable trying to get out of my but that truck, I bought my first truck, a big black truck. That's when I kind of like started going out on my own. Let you come up and visit me like that, because this first started coming down and visit me with me. Well, when I got told one day in the video, I said, well, you know what, when I get up out of here, I'm going to marry you just like that, you know. She started laughing. She said, how you know I ain't already married? I said, but ain't no way you going to be married still coming up and visit you like that. But still laughed, you know. Well, anyway, when I got out, they asked me, one of the questions, they asked me what type of work I want. Now they said, how they asked me about that meal thing, they asked me what I want to do. I said, well, the first thing I need to do is get me a job so I can buy this pretty young lady a ring so I can one day marry her. But I was saying one day, you know. These for him, they think, you know, they don't got everything. I'm married. Block right back up in 17 days, I'm married, and I'm back into it.
He went to prison the year I went to law school. And I told him later, I said, I'm so sorry it took me so long to get smart enough to get you out of prison. But, I mean, I think about all the things that happened to me from the time I started law school until the time I exonerated Clarence. And all of the life experiences and all the lessons I learned. I mean, people get married, they have kids, they have one job, two jobs, you know, they start their career. Hell, they start building Social Security. Clarence doesn't have any Social Security to rely on when he retires, you know, when he gets to that age. So you think about all the things that happen to you from 24 to whatever age it was, however old I was when you got out of prison. But it's a huge chunk of your, like, really important adult life that he lost.
Well, I used to be the one that get on aim and stuff, and from my experience, I've been able to work with the other exonerees. Now, when they get angry, we bang on each other, you know. We call each other and go complain, make our complaints and stuff for one another, you know, and see how we can go about here for one another, adapting and adjusting.
But, you know, there are only 4 other people who understand what he went through. And there's only, you know, 4 other people in Georgia. Oh, no, I'm wrong. 5. Because Calvin got out before you. Yes, sir, in the red.
This is for you, Ms. Maxwell. It's clear that the GIP is a very thoughtful organization, but are they awarded any sort of profit per exoneration to keep the program running?
No, we don't take any money from the compensation. We exist on private donations. We have a few small grants. You know, we talked about this project in New York, the original project. They're kind of the granddaddy project. They are huge. They've got national recognition. I mean, their annual budget is $16 million. Okay, our annual budget is a little over $100,000. It's a very different size organization. And we were looking the other day, and we really exist on donations that average about $35. We're very small. But, which brings me to something that I really would like to share with you guys, and I would like for you to share. First of all, how about liking us on Facebook? I'm really obsessed with my Facebook numbers. I just figured out the whole Facebook thing, and I need some numbers there. We have been working on this project that might sound lame, but it is not. It might sound like lame folk music, but it is not, I promise. We have got a volunteer who's a songwriter, and she met with Clarence, and she's got a friend that's a music producer, and they have come up with an album that is based on Clarence's life, and almost literally based on Clarence's words. A lot of times they are his words. There's a song still called Free World. He did tell you about, you know, when he was standing in the courtroom and they convicted this man, and he's like, this can't possibly be me, and he turns around and he sees his mother crying, and he realizes this is me, I've got to go do this time. And so this is a song called Mama's Face. But anyway, we have this music project, it's called Life Sentence. And we have little business cards and a QR code that will take you directly to the website. So we'd love for you guys to check this out and to pass it on to your friends to let them know. So we've got, it's a fairly new thing, so we'd like for you to get the word out and let other people know. And even if it's not your type of music, remember it's his type of music. He loves it. There's a song called Big Black Truck, because that is what every one of the exonerees wants when they get out of prison. A big black truck. And when I finally asked her, she goes, oh, their cars are so little. I feel unsafe. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But anyway, there's a song called Big Black Truck. It's very fun. And every time Clarence hears it, he gets this smirk on his face and he dances. It's really, but it's kind of, it's this nice upbeat song, but part of it is that he never goes anywhere without an alibi. So he's got this freedom of the truck and yet always looking over his shoulder. So, so even if it's not your kind of music, remember it is Clarence's kind of music, and that's good. And we used to call it a musical documentary, but everyone thought it was a movie with music. I'm like, no, that's not it. So we don't know what to call it, but check it out. Yes?
One thing is to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And the other thing is being framed by somebody in the system or friend, or do you sense that you were in the wrong place at the wrong time, or you have been framed by the system, some friends, or targeted?
It was later. I always doing, while I was incarcerated, when I was working on my case and doing, trying to reconstruct the crime scene and stuff, I always believed that it had something to do with the police officer. And once I was released, the police officer did admit, that he made me a suspect, and that he fabricated about an unidentified person, saying that I had a victim watch and stuff. And I believe he also would play a part in it because, I think it was,
Yeah, he claimed it was a confidential informant.
A combination of both? A combination of both situations?
He's just in the neighborhood.
I was right across the street from my home. I was at home.
So it could be anybody in your neighborhood, or it was just you targeted?
It could have been someone in the neighborhood committed the crime. That was you asking?
No, you...
Just because you were in the neighborhood? Or?
No, it was just me, because this someone who just was at me, because I had that smart mouth. When I said, I ain't gonna, no, man, I want to have that dude you gotta tell her, brother, I ain't gonna tell you nothing.
Do you think...
That was the whole deal in my mouth.
And let me tell you, every one of our exonerees has one of those moments. The smart off to the police officer, and the police officer instantly...
That's what he said. He told me that that's what he said what it was. I had a small mouth.
And it's every one of the cases. There's some moment.
He admitted, with no unidentified person that he fabricated. He admitted to all of it.
Yeah. Clarence's is the only case we have involved. All the other, we found the right perpetrator. Which is why the victim still believes it's Clarence, even with DNA.